How are you today? It is National Mushroom Day, so I am super excited. I have lots and lots of information here today about mushrooms. So if you are watching, I definitely want you to say hi and let me know. I also want you to tell me your favorite way to eat mushrooms, okay? So I have lots of notes here about my mushrooms today. As you guys all know, I'm a registered dietitian and I am the owner of Bring Joy to Your Kitchen and the creator of the online course, The Plant-Based Method. So I just wanted to let you know, like I said, a little bit more about mushrooms. So I see somebody watching. Say hi to me in the comments so I know who you are. Mushrooms are so good for us because they are very low in calories. They don't have any fat and they obviously don't have any cholesterol either. They do make an awesome, chewy, kind of meaty replacement for meat. Okay, so the health benefits are that they are a source of prebiotics and that they're helping strengthen and stimulate our immune system. They have what's called beta-glucan in them, and they are also anti-cancer and help prevent infections, okay? So in the, hey Kim, yay! In a book about breast cancer, they're considered one of the top 10 breast cancer superfoods, especially button mushrooms, kind of like these right here that I have, button mushrooms. They inhibit aromatase. And some breast cancer drugs are also trying to do the same thing, but it's interesting that mushrooms can do what the drugs can do. So they inhibit aromatase, which is a precursor. And if you think about it, many Asian countries, the breast cancer rates are really, really low, and they eat a lot of mushrooms, okay? They're even used in Asian countries medicinally. Mushrooms are used medicinally to treat cancer as well. So a couple other things, mushrooms do have some vitamin D in them. They have the vitamin B6, and they are helping us with, like I said before, anti-inflammatory, and also then in the book Mastering Diabetes, I just wanted to mention that as well. In the book Mastering Diabetes, they are considered a green light food. And he says they are obviously very nutrient dense, and he wants people, the authors of Mastering Diabetes, want people to eat them in unlimited amounts. So they are good for us. Eat as much as you want. The book Fiber Fueled, he refers to them as toadstools, and he wants us to get lots of diversity in our toadstools. That's the book Fiber Fueled. Eat to Live. He says, Joel Fuhrman says, eat mushrooms all the time. He is also the creator of that one concept called G-bombs, and it's an acronym for all these different foods that that have high antioxidant levels, and the M in G-bombs stands for mushrooms. So they are really healthy for us. Okay, and then with storage of them, so let's see, I just wanted to quick say hi too. There's Terry. Hi Terry. And you love mushrooms, but you have trouble keeping them fresh though. Yes, okay. I'm gonna give you a couple tips on that. So when you buy mushrooms, you know, many of them come in packages like this. You can go home and store them like this. Yes, like this plastic right here, I can see it does have some holes in it. So you want to make sure that there is holes in the plastic. If there's not, you want to pop holes in it. The other thing the one thing that you definitely don't want to do is you do not want to wash them before you put them in the refrigerator. That's a sure way to make them go bad. When I was looking up a little bit more ideas, when you asked the question, how do I store mushrooms? The response is don't. We do really technically want to eat them as soon as you buy them, but that's not always possible. All right, so the other option that I have found is helpful is to put them in paper sacks. So when I buy them, I bring them home and I dump them into a paper sack like this, and then I store them that way. You could also try wrapping them in paper towels, and and also then storing them in a paper sack or in a plastic bag. If you store them yourself in a container, don't seal the lid. What you'd want to do is cover it with plastic wrap and then poke holes in it, because mushrooms need to breathe, okay? I was always told mushrooms had no or little nutritional value. Oh yeah, no, they totally do. They're really, really good for us, Kim. So the one other thing that I read about is we don't want to eat them raw very often. It's okay maybe once in a while, but they do have a compound on them that is actually not good for us. It's called agaritine. So that is on raw mushrooms, and that is the reason that we do want to roast them or saute them or somehow cook them, okay? I'm trying to think. Otherwise, so as also with storing them, if you want to freeze them, you can, but you got to cook them first, okay? So cook your mushrooms first and then you can freeze them. I think that's it. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about recipe ideas, okay? So, the author of How Not to Die, Dr. Greger, he uses his George Foreman. He says use your George Foreman grills, and he renamed his George Foreman grill the Portobello Mushroom Grill, okay? So that's my first suggestion, is grill portobello mushrooms. Okay, now I have a portobello right here. These gills are actually looking pretty good, but sometimes when I buy them, they are really nasty. These definitely have a little bit more brown. If they're black, I would get rid of them. Even with this one now, I'll probably scoop it out. So this is a big portobello mushroom. If you want to try to get your mushrooms as fresh as possible. And yeah, scooping out the gills is fine to do that, okay? But grilling portobello mushrooms, you can marinate them. It's awesome. You can slice them up then and use them in fajitas, or you can stuff them as well. Other ideas would be like tacos, chopping them up and mixing them with cauliflower or walnuts to make a taco meat. You can use them in soups. There's so many soup recipes, and including like mushroom soup, creamy mushroom soup, and creamy wild rice and mushroom soup. And then stir fries, risottos. I have made risottos dairy-free, and they are delicious. Gravy. I have recipes for a mushroom gravy that has no fat in it whatsoever, and it's really good. You can chop them up and put them in pasta sauce. And back to the Mexican is an idea would be fajitas, wild rice, add them to wild rice, and that's what I'm going to be doing here. And you can put them in with Buddha bowls, certainly as a part of those Nourish or Buddha bowls. And maybe with, nowadays the zucchini noodles are so popular. So zucchini noodles with pesto and then mushrooms would also be a great dinner. And I've made mushroom lentil meatballs before, so that's when you're mixing them with lentils and making meatballs. If you want to, a great recipe resource and some of the ideas that I just got, we're at mushroomcouncil.com. Otherwise, I'll put a link to a couple of recipes in the comments when I am done, okay? So today, I am making stuffed acorn squash. So I'll just move my camera down here for a second. So I baked acorn squash. I cut it in half, and then I put some water in the bottom of a 9x13 pan here, and I baked it at 400. Now what I'm going to do, I didn't have time to get it all done. I'm going to just saute it up then with cauliflower, and I'm going to probably use my little shiitake mushrooms. These are the fancy ones, and the button mushrooms, as well as add some wild rice. And then the savory is sweetened up with some dried cranberries. So that is an example, and I'll include the recipe link for that. On the top of that, then I'm going to do a watered down tahini with some lemon juice. Okay, so a stuffed acorn squash with mushrooms, cauliflower, and wild rice. That's what I'm going to be doing with these today. So that's just one example, and I will share the recipe link for that, okay? So tonight, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you wanted to join me, I'm doing the three plant-based strategies that I use to slim down and heal my gut, and I will put the link for that in the comments. I'm starting that at 7 p.m. Central, okay? So that's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I think 5 p.m. Pacific, okay? So hopefully you guys can all join me for that, the 3 plant-based strategies. And also a reminder that my next plant-based method course is starting next Monday. So I'm super excited about that. I've had a group going through it and they have had so much fun and learned a lot and are feeling so much better. So hopefully you guys can join me tonight. Otherwise, if you have any questions, either send me a private message or email me. And thanks for watching. So Terry, yay! You said that sounds delicious. I think it will be too. I had an acorn squash, so I'm like, ooh, I got to use this up. Okay, anything else? So thanks for watching, everybody.